What's going on, everyone? Bran here from Bloody Breakdown with a quick. I'm gonna say quick. You notice there was no intro there, no fanfare. I'm not even on camera for this one. Um, but I did want to have a discussion. All right. Now, anyone who watches my videos knows I'm probably not the biggest fan of the Conjuring franchise, but today I wanted to speak directly to the Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. This is what I want to discuss today. And obviously, before we get into anything, if you enjoy today's video, I would appreciate a thumbs up to let me know that you do. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't done so already, and check down below in the description section with a couple of links to support the channel or follow me on social media if those are things you choose to do. Now, back to the topic at hand. So I watched, against my better judgment, I watched The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It recently. Now, if I'm being honest, it took 3 attempts to sit down and watch this thing in its entirety. It was within a day or 2, I believe. But yes, 3 attempts to sit down and finally get through this thing, and I did. I finally watched it. Now, I think most people probably understand that if you're having trouble sitting down finishing a movie, there's an issue already. Unless there's some sort of outside factor going on, like I had all the time in the world. This was about a week ago, and I still couldn't get it done. So what are the problems that I have with this film? And you can almost echo this throughout that entire franchise. But I am specifically speaking to The Devil Made Me Do It today. So, what are my issues with this movie? First and foremost, when I sat down and started watching this movie, within a half an hour, I had already made up in my mind that this was a PG-13 horror film. It was not. I thought, and I even made this comment to my wife who I was watching the film with, and she's a horror fan as well as I am. She couldn't deal with it either. She was one of the reasons we cut it off one of the times. Um, I thought I was watching a PG-13 horror flick. I actually looked it up before I made a tweet this morning, because I was gonna say, same old shit from a PG-13 horror film. I look it up, the movie's rated R. For what? I have no clue. I have absolutely no idea why the MPAA gave this film an R rating. Doesn't need it. This is your stereotypical PG-13 jump scare fest. That's what it is. There's just so much cringe in this movie. There are so many cringe-worthy scenes and dialogue, and just action in the film throughout. I don't give a solitary fuck about the characters, new and returning. I'm given really no reason to. I don't. Once again, the dialogue is just cringeworthy. The characters I couldn't give a shit less about. The story is the same old rehash that you have seen out of not just every single Conjuring movie and spinoff before now, but every single possession movie. Specifically, your exorcisms of Emily Rose and things of that nature, haunting in Connecticut, that type shit. Like, I'm a horror fan, don't get me wrong, and I love all subgenres of horror to certain degrees here or there. But for some reason, this particular subgenre has always been kind of weak to me, like the supernatural, ghosts or the demons, and there's got to be an exorcism and all this shit. Like, other than The Exorcist, I don't know any other movie that's ever really done a good job at this type of thing. And that's because I think they took a different avenue than a lot of these films do altogether, and not to mention that it's more well made than pretty much every one of these other films that in some small way at least tries to be The Exorcist and fails miserably. But just getting back to this whole Conjuring the Devil Made Me Do It thing, specifically, because I don't want to talk too much about The Exorcist. I don't want to talk about a good film while I'm having a rant about how awful this movie is. So it's and that's the thing. it relies so heavily on jump scares. It relies so heavily on nothing scares. And when you do actually have a legitimate scare in this movie, it's not scary at all. I don't jump, I don't react. I've just been and I don't to the jump scares either. Like, I was sitting here with my wife watching the film, and I was telling her, "Okay, jump scare right about now." And I'd call it every fucking time. And it does some of that have to do with me being an avid fan of horror films? Sure. You can pick up on certain cues, but not to that level to where I can predict every one of their cringy ass, going nowhere jump scares. And there are a lot of them in this film. Um, so on top of it, it's predictable too. So I just don't like the movie. There's really, to me, no redeeming qualities about this film. I mean, maybe there were a few things I could pick out of of other films in this franchise and its spin-offs where I was like, okay, that's cool, or whatever. Like, this movie is just bad. It's bad. I don't know any other way to put it than don't watch it. Don't waste your fucking time. Don't waste your money. It's awful. And another thing, can you motherfuckers in Hollywood please stop insulting my intelligence by telling me that these films are based on true stories? Please stop. It infuriates me to no end. You don't see you don't see Blumhouse telling us that Halloween with Michael Myers is based on a true story. Do you know why? Because it's not. And neither are any of these Conjuring films. They're not based on true stories. If you actually look at the content within the film, they may be based on a historical event, but I guarantee you, no one got possessed by a demon. Don't tell me that happened. There's no evidence that that happened. As a matter of fact, there's evidence to the contrary that these people were suffering from mental illness and they didn't need an exorcism. They needed a psychiatrist. All right. So can we please stop with this whole based on a true story narrative, trying to convince the general public that there are such things as ghosts and demons and goblins? Once again, I'm a horror fan. I love that shit in the film. Don't try to insult me by telling me that what I'm watching is real. Fuck you. Like, I don't know any other way to put it. It is insulting to my intelligence for you to tell me, and I'm not a very intelligent person. I'm not trying to say that I am. I'm just your run-of-the-mill Joe Schmo. But don't sit here and tell me that, so you're telling me that what I'm watching is real. Because in the first 5 minutes of this film, there's like an 8-year-old kid that does a complete back bend and brings his head back around through up under his legs and severs his fucking spine in the process. You're telling me that's real? And the kid's still walking in the movie. Like, I can suspend my disbelief for a film, but when you're telling me that no need to suspend your disbelief. This is accurate. This really happened. Fuck all the way out of the known universe, please. And another thing about this is, can we please stop holding the Warrens up as some type of interesting people who deserve a film series made after them, who have done all these great things for people? Because at the end of the day, the bottom line is this: the Warrens are con artists. They always were. I don't even know if either of them are still alive anymore. I know one of them passed away. The other one's probably gone too. They're old, whatever. But they were con artists. 100% guaranteed these two were con artists. So can we stop trying to hold them up like there's some sort of great team of people who went around saving people from demonic possession? And that's another thing. In all these movies, there's always some dude recording in the background, but I've yet to see any tape that proved what actually was going on in that house is what they said went on. And if there's a fucking tape, let's see the tape. But you're insulting my intelligence by telling me this is real. You're insulting my intelligence by trying to prop up the Warrens when I know that they were con artists. And you're insulting me as a moviegoer by serving me this big hot turd on a plate and telling me that this is horror and that I should watch it and that I should pay my money to watch it. The whole thing is insulting, if nothing else. I'd say insulting at best. The movie's awful. It's not based on a true story. This whole damn thing's based on a lie. It's based on con artists. And to be quite frank with you, I know that there's a percentage of my audience that are going to be like, fuck you, Brand. I like the Conjuring movies. They're good. And that's great. If you like them, more power to you. I hope they make more sequels, and I hope you go and you pay your ticket to see them and you enjoy it. Whatever. That's you. We all have an opinion. But for me, I'm done. I will never again, ever again waste my money or my time to watch another Conjuring film. I said after Annabelle Creation that if they ever gave me another piece of shit like that again, that I would be done with this franchise. And as of today, I am done with this franchise. I will never again waste my time or money watching this crap, this recycled garbage that they put out every so many years over and over and over again. And this is coming from a guy who will watch a Halloween movie or a Scream flick until they quit making them. Because at least there's some integrity in not trying to prop up a con artist, tell me that it's real, or like actually putting some effort into the fucking film. Because when I got done watching this movie, I was like, oh, okay, they wanted another payday. That's all this is. Let's just take another one of the bullshit stories that the Warrens made up about an actual historical or an actual event, and let's just be like they are. Let's just be fucking con artists and try to throw this out here with what appeared to me, at least, as minimal effort. So it's bad. If you haven't seen it, I would not suggest that you see it. However, you know, do you? If this is your thing and you enjoy it, more power to you. I apologize if I offend you with my opinion, but it is what it is. If my word means anything, to you about wanting to go see a film, I say don't see it. It's awful. It's garbage, hot garbage, even the worst. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this thing up. I said I'd keep it short. I think 12, 13 minutes is a little bit too long, but I knew I was going to rant about this because I absolutely hate this fucking movie and the entire franchise and everything that it stands for. So with that said, if I have not pissed you off beyond belief, please give me a like if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you haven't done so already. Check down below in the description section. You'll see a couple of links, one to my Twitter, one to my Patreon, so you could support me or follow me if that's something you so choose to do. And leave a comment down below. Let me know what you all think. This is no echo chamber over here as it relates to film. So let me know your all thoughts. And I guess with that said, I'm Brent from Bloody Breakdown, hoping I don't lose too many subscribers over this. And we'll catch you all next time.